people for thousands of years have continuously consumed meat and also believe that meat provides health benefit, which is empirically supported by science. On Site 00, we believe that the ban of meat production is a massive shock and destruction to food chain and the organized system in the religion and culture. So what actually 00 wants? First, we oppose the ban of the meat consumption. Second, we will stick with the status quo such as socialization for society, pursuing healthy lifestyle, overconsumption, and funds for alternatives to mitigate environmental damage because of the meat production. We also agree with OG that overconsumption of meat can be bad for health, but banning is destruction of all, including health of society. My rebuttal will be integrated into my substantive. First, why meat is still necessary and the alternative of OG is not acceptable. Choice of human life. As a human, we have freedom of choice. And consume meat does not generate collective harm. Okay, let's give an analogy to this. As we know that smoking causes a collective harm, and that's why we ban smoking. Because if I smoke, not only me getting the harm, but the people around me that gain the smoke by what I'm smoking also gain the harm. But it's a different thing from meat. If I eat meat, I will gain the effect, not the others. And that's why meat does not generate collective harm at all. So it's different with the smoking. And so even if it is evil, the compass is based on the perspective of religion, but in practically it is evil to limit human choice. And the second is the overpopulation potential. The site never explained the possibility of the population to grow massively because the food chain, since human has stopped consuming them. And the last one is the religious offering. We cannot force some kind of religion to suddenly switch to not use meat. For example, as we know that Muslims have their own culture of Qurban thing where they have to sacrifice cow or some ox, right? So if we directly ban the production of meat and you ask Muslims to directly change not using them as the sacrifice or the offering, it will cause a massive new problems, which is context to and connect to the religious and cultural things. And the second substantive, the alternative is enough. In Canada, we know that Canada has regulated food to control methane production of cattle, and it's a massive action and it's a real proof that the alternative is enough. And people now starting to shift into vegetarian on the content, not because they are forced, but they want it because of what they want. No forcing, and people now starting to shift to vegetarian. A lot of vegetarian move has been moved around the world, and we know that culture and religion also support vegetarian 100%. And the health check from the food that produced make a new job opportunities for the nutritionists. So the nutritionists could do check and balance for their consumers, so that the people that consume meat will gain advice from the nutritionists, so that we know that the nutritionists gain a new job opportunity. So back to the point that why meat is still necessary and the alternative of OG is not acceptable. And as we know that a lot of positive effects caused by the meat consumption, and the things that I want to point is that the overpopulation things. As we know that if an animal is overpopulated and human could not take care of all that animal, it will cause new problems that cause massive things. For example, OG side context that we have to stop production of meat because it harms the animal. If overpopulation goes higher and higher, it will also affect the animal. First, they will getting killed by the predator, which is the same. It will inflict more pain towards the animal. And because of overpopulation, a lot of animals will not find their home, will not get any kind of living habitat, and that will cause and inflict more pain towards the animal. So if we ban the consumption and the production of meat, it will also cause a pain. It will cause and inflict more pain towards the animal. So which is the alternative of OG is still not acceptable for our side, and that's why we oppose.